going on, my people? This is your host, Blanche Eden, with Black Trending News. This is episode 9 of season 2. Please go ahead and check out the 40 episodes from season 1 and the episodes from season 2. Go ahead and catch up whenever you're ready. So tonight, we're going to be talking about other reasons that contributed and that were surrounding Lisa Raye's marriage with the Turks and Caicos fella. But he was really important. She was the first lady. So I guess you could consider him, he was like the Obama. He was like the president of Turks and Caicos. She was the first lady. Very prestigious island. Very prestigious couple. Great wedding. We're going to get into all of that today. But recently Lisa Raye came out. So let's back up just a little bit, because there was something stirred up, before Lisa Raye didn't just come out of nowhere and start talking about, what happened between Nicole Murphy, which is Eddie Murphy's ex-wife, and her ex-husband. Something kind of triggered it off, right? Okay, so some time ago, there were some pictures, very shocking pictures, I guess you would say, but not so shocking if you know Nicole Murphy's dating past. It's not so shocking, but most people probably didn't. And this was a little nice reminder for those who didn't. Antoine Fuqua, who is Lela Rochon's, which is a popular actress from the 90s, husband. Yeah, so there was some shit going on. And the whole internet went crazy. Everybody was siding with Lela. How could you do this? This is terrible. Nicole had to apologize. Nobody was enthused with her apology at all. She even apologized this week on the Wendy show. And I guess with the hopes that people will, forgive her and move on. I don't think most people care or even care to forgive her, but I think that she's trying to gain some credibility with the public, right? After what happened. So once these pictures resurfaced, Lisa Raye had posted, making claims that Nicole Murphy is a homewrecker. And so I'm paraphrasing, she destroyed their marriage and cheated with her husband. I believe that she didn't say those exact words, but she had said something and people caught on, right? I'm paraphrasing to what her point was in her post. Basically, Nicole Murphy messed around with her husband. She confirmed it with TMZ and other news outlets. So fast forward a little bit, I saw the Wendy interview with Nicole, and it was a great interview. I enjoyed it. It was funny. It was lively. It definitely kept my attention. So definitely go check it out when you have the time. But Nicole pretty much lied during the interview and denied the truth, right? Which made me want to just kind of do some digging. She said that she doesn't know Lela, but she claimed that they were friends. There's a lot of proof online and posts and tweets and texts that she stated that they're family friends. She claimed she didn't know Lela. She just saw her passing by. She was no big deal. She did admit that she knows Antoine, who she was kissing with. She said she made a mistake. She hopes that, she said, ladies, it could happen to you. You made a mistake. That won't happen to me, but I'm just saying. Moving forward, it just made me curious as to why Lisa Raye's marriage really did end in divorce. And I don't agree that it was only Nicole Murphy. All of it doesn't fall in her lap. There were some things going on, a lot of things going on that are outside of Nicole. Factors. These are facts that are put out by the media, right? Rape allegations, money scandals. Her ex-husband had very much to do with. It seemed like her relationship was rough and wreckish before they even walked down the aisle. And I really believe, that Lisa knew the type of man that she was marrying. Maybe I don't know. I'm just speaking off of thought here. Maybe she didn't know how bad it was going to end up being. Maybe she, like a lot of women, were optimistic and we hope for the better. Maybe, once we're married, we can get some counseling, things can settle down. Maybe that was her idea, but that did not happen. Back in April of 2006, Lisa married Michael Misick, who had been elected the premier of the Turks and Caicos Islands in a position previously known as Chief Minister of the Turks and Caicos Islands in 2003. In an interview with the Daily Mail, Misick shared that he and the infamous TV villain Omarosa first met back in 2005 after she divorced her husband, Aaron Starworth. He stressed that he was enamored with her at the time and would ironically often go to her for her political advice. Okay, and a lot of us know the type of character that Omarosa is. Okay, and he's attracted to this woman. This is his type of person. He says here, quote, "I knew who she was and she knew who I was. What stuck with me about her was her intellect," he said. He also says they had a very interesting, stimulating conversation. She would always give him sound advice. In fact, he wishes he would have taken more of her advice, and have done some things differently. This is what he's saying. He went on to add that the two became romantically involved on a casual basis after he flew to New York to take her on a date to Sylvia's in Harlem. She later went on to accompany him on a trip to Dubai, and from there, their relationship intensified for 6 months. The former politician also went on to make it a point to mention that their sex life was amazing and very satisfying. So here we go. Lisa and Michael got married in 2006, and he was with Omarosa having passionate, yummy sex in 2005. So how much time has passed in between that? Probably not even a year. And boom, Lisa is married. So he's having passionate sex with Omarosa. Now he's married to Lisa. That's not a lot of time to know someone and get married. I mean, unless there was something going on in between the passionate sex with Omarosa and her getting married. I'm not sure. Now, Lisa and Michael married in a lavish ceremony before 300 guests, followed by a 3-week honeymoon to Jerusalem, Bali, and Dubai. During their marriage, Lisa's title was First Lady of Turks and Caicos. Soon after that, Misick was accused of raping an American woman on March 28, 2007. The claim against Misick failed, and the woman subsequently brought proceedings against her employers in Florida. Also in 2007, the New York Daily News reported that one of Eddie Murphy's ex-wives, Nicole Murphy, was caught smooching with the Turks and Caicos Prime Minister while being married to actress Lisa Raye McCoy. Following the report, a rep from McCoy released a statement denying cheating allegations. Okay, so that could have been true, right? Or it could have been a lie. It could have been a cover-up to protect her then husband, who already had enough unspeakable things going on. So it was either, it could go either way. Either it was a lie or either it was the truth. But at first, it's reported here that it was denied. So you really don't know what it is, right? Because then she later and came out and said it was the truth. So there's that big question mark right there. But I've already mentioned a few things, and I'm not even done yet, to what could have ruined her marriage. It was definitely not Nicole on its own. She contributed to it probably, but he was probably doing a ton of other things. There's been other women's names in the media that he was messing around with while he was married. The American actress would later reveal that Misick cheated on her with several celebrity women. Her sister Debrat later confirmed reports that Murphy hooked up Misick during an episode of her show Dish Nation. To no one's surprise, this marriage ended. A statement released on August 12, 2008 to the press by Premier Missick stated, "I am announcing that I am separating from Lisa Raye McCoy. I am committed to dissolving the marriage amicably. I believe that this is a private matter and will have no further comments. I hope that our privacy will be respected." Missick resigned from office in March of 2009 after an investigation found clear signs of corruption involving selling off public land to fund his own investments. He fled Turks and Caicos and was eventually arrested in Brazil and extradited back to the islands to stand trial. In 2008, a Foreign Affairs Select Committee of British members of Parliament, conducting a routine review of the administration in British overseas territories, received several reports of high-level official corruption in the Turks and Caicos. Their report charged that Missick, who is alleged to have built up a multi-million-dollar fortune since he was elected in 2003, when he declared assets of only 50,000 American dollars, enriched himself and fellow ministers by selling off crown land to fund current investment. In response, the governor of the Turks and Caicos Islands, Richard Tauer, announced the appointment of a commission of inquiry into corruption on July 10, 2008. Now keep up with me because I'm almost done. On December 15th, 2008, Missick was asked to step down by 9 members of his party. Missick, who was denied any wrongdoing, resigned on March 23rd, 2009 after an investigation found clear signs of corruption. So there was a lot going on. I'm going to go ahead and play this clip of Lisa talking about it herself.
With all that's happening with Michael and the rape and the corruption allegations and, you know, his ill behavior, even this weekend from the recent weekend for our music festival, I think he's just spiraling out of control. And I will just continue to be uplifting, and I will pray for him.
Lisa Raye McCoy Missick, the woman who became the First Lady of the Turks and Caicos Islands on April of 2006, says she admits that several chains of events involving her husband, Premier Honorable Dr. Michael Missick, has finally put a damper on her 28th-month union with Missick.
I was just as shocked about hearing about it as anyone and everyone else, but just as any wife position would be in such an allegation as this, it has to put a damper on the marriage. And, you know, all of the other things that's going on, all of the disrespect, it's just, I will remain uplifting and pray for him. That's what I have to say.
And apparently somber McCoy addressed the shocking announcement of a separation at the Providenciales International Airport earlier this afternoon and gave some insight on where things are headed now. She admits that the breakup of her marriage with Missick is hard to swallow and that she is not giving up on the institution of marriage.
I'm going to be here. You know, I will forever be connected to Turks and Caicos, and I know that even me coming down here and giving up a portion of my life here, I've been embraced, I've done things here, and I have plans for Turks and Caicos as well. So as long
with restricted responses given to the 2 media houses that were at the airport for her arrival to Providenciales from Grand Turk, McCoy, in her final statement, stated that she had no plans of leaving the Turks and Caicos Islands as this has now become her home.
Okay, so it's really hard to pinpoint exactly. We don't know these people, and all we have is what's in the media. And you don't know exactly what caused the problems. But I will say this, it's not just Nicole Murphy's fault. Yes, she contributed to it, but a lot of other women did. But I just wanted to share what I found, surrounding their ex-marriage, and that is not just one piece to it, and how most of us can learn from this. Like I said, I believe that she knew who he was. It was not a secret to the world, and I don't think it was a secret to her. But how hard is it? I think if I was in Lisa's shoes, it would be hard to walk away from that, from being First Lady, right? Like how amazing is that, you know? My next podcast is going to be talking about Lisa Raye's queendom, honey. Her queendom in Ghana. We're going to be talking about her king. Okay, I'm not going to give too much away. Have a good night. Stay tuned for episode 10. Thank you for listening.